And right now, it is that time. I know the professor is chomping at the bit to get to this fucking topic. Here he is, the professor's Perspective Awards for the year of 2022. Chabelo de la Cruz. Professor, hit him with it. What you got for us?
Thank you, Track, and hello, Hustleites. Welcome to the Professor's Perspective Awards 2022. Deja vu like a motherfucker. But anyway, neither here nor there. But it is the most objective award show out there. You know, other there are subjective awards out there, Track. There are subjective awards. People lean towards New Japan. People lean towards AEW. People lean towards WWE. But you know what? Not here. Not the PWHustle / Professor's Perspective Awards. We call it right down the middle. What I see is what you get. Okay. So with that being the case,
yes.
Can I go into the first awards category? Because Track and I will again. This is the PWHustle / Professor's Perspective Awards because this is not like we are voting on this. It's not a majority here because he has different takes. I have different takes. So the first award is one of the most popular ones that I like, the Career Renaissance Award, because I've always loved this one. It's the most improved wrestler of the year. You know, it's obligatory. I hated that most improved wrestler. It's a slap in the face of a wrestler. I don't like that. But calling it the Career Renaissance, what does that mean, Hustleites? It means the wrestler has progressed in 2022 from last year. So I'm not going to give you nominees. That's neither here nor there. But for this award, I have two winners, Track. It is kind of like a tie. So I have a winner for the wrestler per se, and then I have someone who took a career jump. And you already know where I'm going with this. So for the wrestler side, the winner of the Professor's Perspective Career Renaissance is no surprise to any hustleite. It is Sami Zayn, the man who has been the MVP of the Bloodline storyline, with himself trying to get in, who is infiltrating the Roman Reigns Bloodline storyline, was instrumental at War Games, and of course, we know there are big things ahead of Sami Zayn in 2023. And of course, on the career side, I had to give this because again, it's no surprise to any hustleite. But the Career Renaissance Award winner for 2022, obviously, is Mr. Paul Levesque himself, Triple H, who has gotten the keys to the kingdom of World Wrestling Entertainment. So congratulations to Sami Zayn and Triple H on being co-winners of the Professor's Perspective Career Renaissance. I would have given this to Cody Rhodes, but the injury bug hit him. He was well on the track of getting Career Renaissance, because Track always looked at me funny like in March. I said, you already won that. It was already locked in. But again, I start from January 1st, Track, to the end of the year, so I have to be consistent. So that's my winners: Sami Zayn and Triple H. Career Renaissance.
Which your Career Renaissance? Okay.
So what's your Track?
No. You keep going. Keep going. Oh. You give all your awards, man. I'm just here to let you know if you're. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna do another award. I'm gonna debut a new award because I haven't done this in the 5 years I've done the Professor's Perspective Award, Hustleites. But this was on Twitter, so I have to at least acknowledge it. There was a Twitter timeline that I didn't even notice. I was like, why am I being tagged on this one? But then I had to read the whole tree. It was between 8-Track Brown and the Doctor of WrestleNomics, Jeff Lipman. So I want to make this official here on the PWHustle Networks. So the next award is Comeback Wrestler of the Year. And this one is a landslide in itself because if Hustleites, you got to follow this man. This man was in 3 high-profile situations in 3 organizations. Now, whether you consider one organization high-profile, that's subjective. But you and I, Track, we've watched this, we followed it along. It is JEFF, JARRETT, Jeff Jarrett, Comeback Wrestler of the Year. Why is he Comeback Wrestler of the Year, Hustleites? Number one, he had a high-profile match in GCW. He had a high-profile angle at SummerSlam with the Usos and Street Profits. Had a job for a couple of weeks, mind you. And now has a new high-paying VP role in AEW and is already #1 contenders to the tag team titles and probably will, wrestle the Acclaim for those in 2023. So it's a no-brainer that Double J, Jeff Jarrett, gets a Professor's Perspective Comeback Wrestler of the Year for 2022. The debut award track. So I have to give you shout-outs for this.
Yeah, man. When Jeff Lippman was talking about Jeff Jarrett and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, man, he definitely gets that. I've always said, this guy seems to always land on his feet. No matter what you do. You think this nigga is gone, but he's, everybody talks about this man doesn't draw a dime. He don't gotta draw a dime. He is drawing dimes. He's drawing dimes for himself. That's what Jeff Jarrett fucking gets paid. Period. Be it, opening his own promotions and gold bar hustling and whatnot, selling snake oil, whatever the fuck it is.
He was the originator. He was the originator of NFTs before NFTs was even a thing.
Yo, dead ass, yo. He was the NFT. He was the original NFT. The OG NFT. NFT OG. Double E, JJJ, Jeff Jarrett, ABC, EWT, all of that. So yeah, man, the dude, yo, and I wish him nothing but success in AEW because why wouldn't I wish him success? I hope he can add and help this company better, and I hope he is able to do his thing. I can understand why Jeff Jarrett got a lot of shit in the business from different workers. I just never understood why he has so much hate from fans for some reason. I wasn't a Jeff Jarrett hater. There was a time where I was a very big fan of Jeff Jarrett at one point. So I always had a soft spot for Jeff Jarrett.
He has a passion for the business.
That's
He's
another
passionate about what he does, no matter what.
Always stays in shape. Like I was looking at this dude, I'm like, God damn, him and Billy Gunn. They stay. That is a traditional wrestler's mindset. I stay ready because you'll never know when you need it or when you might get a lot. You might make a certain deal and you might work a big match and get a big payday and you want to look good out there. And Jeff Jarrett just makes sure he always does that. And I can't hate on the fact that this dude just will always land on his feet some way somehow. And I think that needs to be it needs to be said and acknowledged more. And I was watching this Friday. I was watching the promos for the match for Rampage, and I was like, "Yo, this is when Jeff Jarrett is at his best right now. He knows how to draw heat from the fans. Be it go away, he knows how to get them motherfuckers riled the fuck up. And the man can always cut a good promo, And I gotta tell you, one of the things I enjoyed about Jeff Jarrett's work was when he was in TNA feuding with Kurt Angle. He was acting like he was an MMA fighter. That shit had me in stitches. Because this nigga was not an MMA fighter by no fucking means. But I thought that Angle was fucking hilarious. I thought he was great in that shit. And for the most part, wasn't he drawing money when he did the TNA thing? When TNA was at his height, you can't say he was drawing money for them. So all of this shit about him not drawing, you gotta calm that down. Again, Jeff Jarrett draws money for himself. That's it. He draws dimes.
You retorted Mike Graham's meme of Jeff Jarrett. He didn't 1,000 guitar shots, never drew a dime. So you've retorted back that he drew a dime for himself.
Yeah, who got the cash? Mike, him or Jeff? You or Jeff? Who got the cash? Fuck out of here, nigga. Mm-hmm. All right, so what you got next, Q?
All right, the next award we got for the Professor's Perspective Award 2022 is Female Wrestler of the Year. I found this a little bit difficult, Hustle. So I'm going to put a disclaimer here. It's because I was analyzing, again, from January 1st to now, and track is a little bit difficult here because at first I wanted to give it to Jade Cargill. And I said that would be a good pick, but then, undefeated streak.
That would be controversial right there. Yeah.
Again, but the problem is her matches are not, she doesn't have good quality matches. She has wins, and I always, you have to give points for the wins. She wins pay-per-view matches, she wins high-profile dynamites and all this stuff, but she hasn't had, as you and I like to say, or like Sheamus like to say, the bangers. And of course, like you said, track, she is very green. And again, Hustleites, you can put it in the comments. Well, Professor, don't you watch Stardom? Don't you know all those Japanese ladies? No, I don't watch Stardom. So you know what? Everybody from Stardom actually kills each other. So they should all be Women's Wrestler of the Year. I don't watch it, so they're null and void. So being fair
Just
and
broke
objective.
Robin Party's heart right there, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but just being fair, what I've seen, the 2022 Female Wrestler of the Year, from what I've seen, is a landslide. And I have to give it because she had a banger match at WrestleMania. She had a banger match at SummerSlam. And she did her thing in War Games. And that's Bianca Belair. So, Strange Bianca Belair. She's the 2022 female Wrestler of the Year.
Go, girl. You, girl. Strut, girl. Strut.
Remember,
now, I thought you were gonna go with Jamie Hayter. I actually thought you were gonna go with Jamie Hayter. Because she had a year. She just had a fucking banger. Like right before we recorded this on the main event. And
again from January to now.
Yeah, I can get that. I'm not, because she's still been champ. That's for damn sure. She's been champ all this time. So I was shocked, but I'm not nothing to argue against that. I thought she did have a very good year. Now, I'm not there with most people with her match with Bianca. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. So I'm not. That's just me. I thought she had a better match than that. With who the fuck?
Well, Bianca and Becky Lynch, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, those were two good, high quality matches, two high profile matches. So you have to give points on that. And again, she had the War Games, and she did. You know, there was some botches in there, but she wasn't part of the botches in that female War Games. So very high profile. And again, you're right, Jamie Hayter. But again, there's more months on the calendar for Bianca being high profile than Jamie Hayter. She was on the come up, but I don't award the come up. If she has consistency, that's what the problem, Track. Sometimes the one now, this is the problem with like NCAA football. You can't reward now.
Don't even get me started on that shit.
You got to reward, you got to put the overall package there. So, and again, like last year, Hustleites, if you did not know this, last year's Women's Wrestler of the Year, I gave it to Deonna Purrazzo, and people were like, nobody watches Impact Wrestling. Well, you know what? I did. But last year, Deonna Purrazzo was kicking ass, but not this year. So, I'm just trying to show I'm objective, what I see.
All right. So what we got for the male wrestler of the year? That's also on your list, right?
That's kind of like the main event. So I have to go from female to tag team of the year 2022. So this is actually.
We already know who that is.
Again, I already said my tangent.
We've already covered this. So
I already said my tangent already. So they've been ROH tag team champions. They are currently the AAA tag team champions until I don't know if there's like some kind of a triple mania going on in the next couple of days, Track, so you can correct me on that. And of course, they're defending the titles at Wrestle Kingdom in 2023. It is FTR. No, like you said, Track, they had bangers. They got the legacy. It would have been I can give an 1 and 1A, and I could say Usos again with the storyline, but I don't reward storylines. I reward matches and the legacies. Usos are the unified tag team champions, but not on the Professor scale. FTR, unequivocally, undisputed tag team of the year. So, Track, if you have a different, you'll after that.
I agree 100%. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. Of course, like I said, we already covered that, so it was like whatever. So what we got next?
What we got next, and since FTR is on the winning streak, we can go with match of the year 2022. Again, FTR. I'm rewarding FTR here, and again, this goes to
FTR is running away with these awards because that's match of the year and tag match of the year.
You already won it's a tie, Track. I don't know which one to pick, but it's the trilogy against the Briscoes. All three matches were bangers, and they just had a banger match with the dog collar. They made it mean something. That dog collar match with the Briscoes reminded me of 1983 Starrcade, Valentine and Piper. That's how gritty it was.
Everybody's been saying that.
That's how gritty it was. That's how special it was. Again, FTR always likes to pay homage to the past. They pay homage to Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson in tag team psychology. They pay homage with the nostalgic traditions. And of course, I was not disappointed, and of course, Track was not disappointed with a dog collar match at Final Battle. So FTR Briscoes trilogy is the undisputed. I wanted to do Sheamus and Gunther at Clash at the Castle, but that's WWE. If I go with organizations, yeah, that's one thing. But I have to do the overall scale, and probably Track has one of those New Japan bangers that I didn't watch, so I'll leave that to him.
You listen. We discussed this before on last week's show. Before and after. You don't get better than what FTR and the Briscoes gave us. You just don't. They, as in the tradition of everything, the Road Warriors, Tully and Arn, the Von Erichs, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Steiner Brothers. It was like those all three matches that we saw were. It's not even. I'm not gonna say representative of all those classic matches we saw, because it's like those matches didn't. It's like I'm trying to say those matches didn't have their own identity. Well, I don't want people thinking that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is everything that you saw in tag team matches back then that you thought was lacking in tag team matches today, you saw in all three of those matches. It gave us something to root for. It gave us something to care about. Listen, I know we make the memes and the gifs about the whole, it's still real to me, damn it. I can definitely see a fan 20 years from now, 30 years from now, saying this to the Briscoes or FTR at some type of event. I could see somebody getting teary-eyed when they talk about all three matches that they saw. And as much as I laugh at and try to say, distance myself from wrestling fans who get that emotionally invested in a match, I understand it, though. I get it, especially with that last match. And it was like I don't want to hear your bias, your whatever. Fuck all this wrestling promotion allegiances that you may have. These fucking matches topped everything we saw this year from anybody, from any promotion. Excuse me. That's just the way it was. You just have to deal with it. You just have to deal with it. I'm sorry it didn't happen here. I'm sorry it didn't happen there. But the point of the matter is it happened. And you just gotta fucking appreciate it. Like next year, it's not in his prime, but I'm gonna see Great Muta versus Nakamura. I'm gonna see my favorite wrestler of all time, the top GOAT, go up against Nakamura. It's not happening in New Japan. It's not happening in WWE. It's not happening in AEW. It's happening in Noah. But the fact of the matter is that it's fucking happening. And if you're a wrestling fan and you're a Muta and Nakamura fan, you're going to watch it. Period. You're going to find a way to watch it. And if you don't, I don't want to hear shit. It's not like it's going to be impossible to find out there. It's just not. You just have to say, Muta, Google it. That's it. Watch Muta versus fucking Nakamura. Period. Go ahead, Q.
I know you. Well, I won't be up when Muta and Nakamura fight. You will be up. I will be sleeping. So I'll watch it on the replay. So don't spoil it for the professor. So, and before anything, I'm gonna do a little curveball here, Track. Before we get to the main award, Male Wrestler of the Year, I want to do a sidebar. And I need your help on this one because, again, just, maybe just put it in your brain. But I'm going to do the 2022 Most Valuable Wrestler of the Year. And what does that mean, Hustleites? It's not about wins and losses. It's not about match quality. It's about a person who has been instrumental, he or she, for their company and what they have, infused on television, what they infused in pay-per-views or PLEs, whatever you want to call it, Track, but somebody who has done that. And I have a tie here because I think I want to acknowledge the most valuable wrestlers, and you'll understand where I'm going with this. Between WWE and AEW, the Shield has won this one. Seth Rollins and Jon Moxley are the most valuable wrestlers. They have been very instrumental in 2022. Seth Rollins, his feud with Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins, what he did with the United States title, and his matches with Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory, and what his character work. Very entertaining shit. And of course, you gotta say on the AEW side, Jon Moxley, after coming back from rehab or whatever, his demons, if you will, This man has been an AEW. He's wore the banner for AEW, done everything he's been asked to, multiple time champion. You and I probably will disagree on he should have won or should have kept the title or whatever the case may be for Hustleites. Neither here nor there. But the man has been asked to do things, and he's done it. He was supposed to be on vacation, but then Tony Khan needed him more. So this is why I wanted to create this award, Most Valuable Wrestler, to acknowledge these two guys for doing, again, it's not always about wins and losses, Hustleites, but you got to at least acknowledge, not Roman Reigns acknowledge, but acknowledge the worth that they put in on TV. So I just wanted to give credence to Seth Rollins and Jon Moxley for being the most valuable wrestler of 2022.
That's right. All right. That is interesting you said that, because what I have for Wrestler of the Year goes along with a lot of things you said. So why don't you let them know?
And now,
because I'm going to give my honorable mentions after.
The main event, the most important award, is the Male Wrestler of the Year. I don't have to go long. I have long-winded stuff. It's too easy. Too easy. Again, the man has been dominant. I have 3 fucking shirts of him already. And still gonna buy more.
Really?
This man is the tribal chief, the head of the table, the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world. The man has already defeated Brock Lesnar multiple times. This man is the island of relevancy. It's a no-brainer for anybody. It is your tribal chief and mine, Roman Reigns, the Male Wrestler of the Year for 2022. Undisputed, unfathomable, undeniable, all this stuff. I could create another word. I don't need a thesaurus right now. But anyway, Roman Reigns is my Male Wrestler of the Year. And that, Hustleites, is the Professor's Perspective Awards of 2022 from my side of the gambit.
Now, you all heard that. So it is said, so it is written, so it shall be. But just to add my 2 cents in, this is A-Track's honorable mentions. I'm not going to, with the exception of Wrestler of the Year, I'm not really going to counter what the professor said. I'm just going to say people who should be mentioned with some great things. As far as Woman Wrestler of the Year, honorable mention could be Jamie Hayter. Like I said, she had a lot of bangers this year, especially the one she had to close out the year. Honorable mentions to Tag Team of the Year could be the fucking Usos. They have had what a lot of people would consider bangers. Me, personally, I've always felt that the Usos matches are completely all the same. But another honorable mention of Tag Team of the Year is based off the fact of how they came literally from nothing to started from the bottom, and now they're here. The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed have been AEW originals who have made themselves into stars. I'm seeing Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirts everywhere. And with the help of a nostalgic act, a character in Billy Gunn with the whole Suck It DX thing, it transfers into today's wrestling fans. It's still just as silly and gay as Suck It. It's just a new generation's version of it, but you still got to give it props. And in terms of an honorable mention for match of the year, motherfucking Jay White versus Okada. You can go with Forbidden Door. In my opinion, you can. What's that match from? You could have who was it? Jon Moxley versus Tanahashi. There you go. Those are honorable mentions right there. In terms of tag matches of the year, an honorable mention is what was that match? Shit.
You could go with Usos versus the New Day, where they were fighting for the legacy.
The legacy match, the Usos versus the New Day. Again, when I say a lot of times the Uso matches are repetitive, this one wasn't like that, because you saw story and psychology of I have something to protect, and so do we, and we have something to build on. So I will honorably mention that. And an honorable mention, my wrestler of the year is Jon Moxley. Based off your basis of him being the MVP, he was my wrestler of the year. This man went in, and in my opinion, he had bangers. He bled, he sweated, he cried, He fucking did everything with the exit of a William Regal and leaving the BCC lacking a major figure in that. He still continued to thrive out towards the end of the year. He was still having hard-hitting matches. We talk about him having this reputation for bleeding. That's Jon Moxley's thing. He's going to fucking bleed, baby. And someone like me, I like seeing blood. I'm not against that in any way, shape, or form. So that's it for me. You know, I understand where the professor's coming from with the tribal chief, but Jon Moxley was really putting in that work, man. He really was.
But he lost. But he lost.
That's true.
I'm just saying. That's why I gotta give points away on certain things.
He lost, but he didn't really lose. You know, it was still a loss, but it was a win. So that was just it. So, you know.